How would you feel if your privacy was invaded just for another company to make a few bucks? How would you react? Would you be upset? Would you be okay with it? This is something that Arthur Ashe had to deal with. Today we're going to talk about who Arthur Ashe was, what disease he had, and his involvement with USA Today, and how they invaded his privacy. Arthur Ashe was an African-American tennis player. He was the first African-American to win the Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. He was also a huge human rights advocate and fought for African-American children's rights through sports and was a huge role model to them. In 1983, he suffered a heart attack, which required open heart surgery. During the surgery, he had a blood transfusion. In 1988, a biopsy revealed that he had contracted AIDS through this blood transfusion. He wanted to keep it private for the sake of his family, who had also contracted HIV negative. The USA Today caught word of the story in 1992, 4 years after Ashe contracted the disease. The sports editor and executive contacted Ashe to confirm the rumors. Ashe just responded with, "could be," and asked him to delay the story. His request was denied, and then the real battle began. So why did Ashe want to keep this story private? Like I said earlier, he wanted to protect his family. His 5-year-old daughter and wife were both HIV negative and did not feel that they should be scrutinized by the media for the rest of their lives. Also, it's just something that was personal to him and was his own business. He even commented and said that contracting AIDS in the 1980s was like having leprosy in the 1990s, or the 1900s. It was just completely frowned upon, and felt that his life would just be completely ruined. Now let's take a look at the standpoint from USA Today. They saw that this huge, icon all over the world just contracted this disease that was going to eventually, end his life, and they wanted to make money off it. They felt that they had a journalist. They felt that he had a journalistic responsibility to report the story. That's what they're getting paid to do. And also, newspapers are a business, and they felt that they need to promote their product to reach, the widest range of demographics possible. And a story of this magnitude would A, help them sell tons of issues tomorrow, but B, would also get tons of more readers. So, Ashe was forced to hold a press conference the next day against his will because he did not want the story broken in the newspaper. Essentially, the USA Today just invaded his privacy, and it was just, corporate greed. That's what it comes down to, is they just wanted to make an extra buck, and they were willing to invade his privacy and ruin his family's life. And money is just not worth damaging someone's reputation. What I would suggest to the USA Today is that they should have waited until Ashe was comfortable. There's just a fine line of when business and personal matters cross, and this is something where they should have just waited and let him come out to the public when he was comfortable. They could have run a better story on his battle with AIDS and how strong and courageous and brave he was, and put him in a positive light. That would still have gained tons of readers and would have just been beneficial to everyone. ESPN holds a award show every year called the ESPYs, and every year they have the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, given to the most courageous person in sports that year. And it's one of the highest honors one can receive.